Under engineering physics, we are discussing magnetic materials. In the current session, we shall try to solve some of the numerical problems that are given in the university examinations. For example, look at this problem. The magnetic field in the interior of a certain solenoid has the value of 6.5 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla when the solenoid is empty. When it is filled with iron, the field becomes 1.4 Tesla. Find the relative permeability of the iron. So what is given in this problem? Magnetic field without iron material is given. That is B0. B is the magnetic field. Without any field means B0, let it be. It is given as 6.5 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla. Also given is magnetic field with iron material. Let us say B. B is given as 1.4 Tesla. Now we were asked to calculate the relative permeability of the iron. Relative permeability is nothing but mu. Relative permeability mu r is to be calculated. Mu r will be the ratio of these two. So how do we go about, given that magnetic field without iron is 6.5 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla and magnetic field with iron material is 1.4 Tesla. So using the relation, we have to calculate relative permeability. So what is the formula? Relative permeability is the ratio between field with material to field without material. So that is what it is. So using the relation mu r is equal to B by B naught, we will substitute the value of B and B naught respectively. So it will become 1.4 by 6.5 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla. So when you simplify, relative permeability will be 2153.85. Being a ratio, it doesn't contain any unit at all. So this is the answer for this question. Let us look at another question. Something like this. Find the relative permeability of a ferromagnetic material if a field of strength 220 ampere per meter produces a magnetization 3300 ampere per meter in it. That means what is given? Magnetization is given. So this 3300 ampere per meter is the magnetization, M value. And also, what is this 220 ampere per meter? This is field strength of a given magnetic material. H value is given. So we have to calculate relative permeability, mu r. Now here the relative permeability is the ratio of M and H and adding 1 to that. So that is mu r is equal to M by H plus 1 formula is being used. So let us note down what is given. Magnetization is given and H value is given. That is M value is 3300 ampere per meter. Field strength of given magnetic material H is given as 220 ampere per meter. So we have to calculate relative permeability using this formula. Mu r is equal to M by H plus 1, that is 3300 plus 220 plus 1. So this is 15 plus 1, that is 16. Therefore relative permeability is 16. This is the solution for this problem. Now let us take up another university problem given like this. A magnetic material has a magnetization of 3300 ampere per meter and flux density of 0.00444 Weber per meter square. Calculate the magnetizing force and the relative permeability of the material. If you see the problem, what is given? Magnetization is given. That is 3300 ampere per meter. That is magnetization, M value, along with flux density is also given. Flux density of 0.0044 Weber per meter square is the B value, flux density value. Now we were asked to calculate relative permeability. Again, mu r. Now this time mu r formula is something different. Now we have to use the relation between B, H and M. In that situation, you have to calculate mu r. Then automatically in the formula, if you recollect, permeability of free space mu naught will come into the picture. So let us see what is given and what to be found. Well, this is given. Magnetization M equal to 3300 ampere per meter. Flux density B is equal to 0.0044 Weber per meter square. Just now I told you that we need to use relative permeability of free space. Mu naught is to be calculated. Mu naught is very clearly known to us that it is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 Henry per meter. So that standard value we are using. Because when we are obtaining mu r value with the relation B and M, then mu naught will be used. So therefore mu naught is the standard value as 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 Henry per meter. With this, we will use this formula. B is equal to mu naught into H plus M. Because we have to calculate mu r. For mu r, you need H value. So to get H value, we will use this. So using this, B is known, mu naught is standard value, M is given. So from this, by substituting here, we will get H value first. So when we substitute, H will be from this formula, B by mu naught minus M. So when we substitute these values, 0.0044 divided by 4 pi, 4 into pi, 3.14 into 10 power minus 7 minus 3300. If you simplify this, H will be 203 ampere per meter. Now problem is not yet completed. Only first part is completed. So you got H value now. You already know B value. So with you have M value is given. So with M and H, using mu r equal to M by H plus 1, we will calculate relative permeability mu r. So therefore, using this formula, mu r is equal to M by H plus 1. M value is already given. So that value we will use it. M value is given as what? 3300. H value is computed as 203. So this will be 3300 by 203 plus 1. So that is the formula we use. So it will come to around 16.5 plus 1. So automatically it will become 17.5. So relative permeability is 17.5. This is the solution for this problem. Let us solve yet another problem. A circular loop of copper having a diameter of 10 centimeter carries a current of 500 milliamperes. Calculate the magnetic moment associated with the loop. So what is given in this? The diameter of the circular loop is given as 10 centimeters. So from diameter, we can calculate radius and convert into meters. Suppose if you imagine the diameter as D equal to 10 centimeters. That means 2r, that is double the radius, is equal to 10 centimeters. From there, radius of the loop will be 10 by 2, 5 centimeters. So when you convert into meters, it will be 0.05 meters. And also he has given current in the loop. So current in the circular loop is given as 500 milliamperes. So I is given therefore. So I is 500 milliamperes, that is 0.5 amperes. Now we were asked to calculate magnetic moment. Magnetic moment is represented by mu. Magnetic moment is equal to product of area into current. That is mu is equal to A into I. What is A there? Area, which is pi r square, because it is a circular loop. So pi r square into I. That is what we have to calculate. So let us note down. This is what I mean. Diameter is given t as 10 centimeters. What is diameter mean? Twice the radius. Therefore, 2r is equal, if radius is r, then d is equal to 2r equal to 10 centimeters. That is 0.1 meters. Now, from this you can calculate the radius r. That is 0.1 by 2. That is 0.05 meters. Now, also given is what? Just now I told you, current is given. So, therefore, current in the loop I is given as 500 milliamperes. So, milliamperes, if you convert into amperes, it will become 0.5 amperes. So, with current and radius, you have to calculate magnetic moment. Magnetic moment is represented as mu. Mu is equal to area into current. So, therefore, using the formula magnetic moment, mu is represented as area into current, that is A into I. Being a circular loop, what is A? Pi r square. So, therefore, A into I becomes pi r square I. So, we will substitute the values of r and I here. Pi 3.14, r square 0.05 whole square, I is given as 0.5. So, when you simplify this, 3.14 into 10 power minus 3. So, this is the 3.93 into 10 power minus 3 ampere meter square is the magnetic moment. Right? Now, let us look at yet another problem. This is an interesting problem being asked a number of times. Carefully read out the problem. An electron in a hydrogen atom circulates with a radius of 0.052 nanometers. Calculate the change in its magnetic moment if a magnetic induction of 3 Weber per meter square acts at right angles to the plane of the orbit. So, what is given in this problem? Radius of the hydrogen atom is given. That is small r, you can say. So, radius of hydrogen atom is given as 0.052 nanometers. We have to convert into meters, of course. And then magnetic induction field is given 3 Weber per meter square, that is B is given. We were asked to calculate change in its magnetic moment. Magnetic moment is mu. Change in magnetic moment is del mu or delta mu is to be calculated. Now, who is rotating? Electron is rotating. So, therefore, standard charge value of electron will be taken into consideration. Radius is already given. B, induction field value is given. And then, because electron is rotating, its mass is also known to us. That is to be noted. So, let us note down what is given. Given that radius of hydrogen atom R is given, that is 0.052 nanometers. We converted that into meters, that is 0.52 into 10 power minus 10 meters. And magnetic induction value of 3 Weber per meter square, that is B is given. Right? Now, we have B value and R value. So, we have to calculate change in magnetic field, magnetic moment. Magnetic moment is mu. Change in magnetic moment means delta mu is to be calculated. Now, if you recollect the formula relating these three, that is delta mu, B and R, two more things will come. One is charge of an electron, E, and mass of an electron. So, therefore, the formula relating delta mu, B, R, charge of an electron E and mass of an electron M is something like this. So, these are the two standard values we have taken. Charge of an electron as 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Mass of an electron is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg, because he is clearly given that electron is in a hydrogen atom is circulating. So, therefore, we use this expression. Delta mu is equal to E square R square B by 4m, where E is the charge of an electron, R is the radius, B is the magnetic induction field, M is the mass. So, E value is there, M value is there, R value is there, B value is there. Therefore, substitute all of them. So you will get like this. E square, that is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 whole square, into R square, that is 0.52 into 10 power minus 10 whole square, into B. B is given as 3. 3 whole divided by 4 into mass of an electron, 9.1 into 10 power minus 31. Now if you simplify, after expanding these two squares, so this will come to around 10 powers, you just keep it out. 1.6 whole square, 2.56. 0.52 whole square, 0.2704. 3 into. Here 10 power minus 19 whole square, here 10 power minus 19, minus 10 whole square. So that will become 10 power minus 58 divided by 4 into 9.1 into 10 power minus 31. You can bring 10 power minus 31 to the numerator. It will become 10 power 31. So what is the ultimate product you will have? This is the change in magnetic moment. Delta mu is equal to, having simplified, we got the value as 5.705 into 10 power minus 29. This is magnetic moment. Ampere meter square is the unit. Please remember that in physics, units are very crucial. Without units, it doesn't have any value. So this is change in magnetic moment. Its unit is ampere meter square. So let us look at yet another problem. Look at this. A paramagnetic material has 10 power 28 atoms per meter cube. Its susceptibility at 350 Kelvin is 2.8 into 10 power minus 4. Calculate the susceptibility at 300 Kelvin. Now 10.28 atoms per meter cube, that means the number of atoms is given. That is capital N value is given. Number of atoms capital N is equal to 10 power 28 atoms per meter cube. And also susceptibility at 350 Kelvin, that is susceptibility value at this temperature 350 Kelvin, because two values are given. Susceptibility at 350 Kelvin is 2.8. So he is asking us to calculate susceptibility at 300 Kelvin. That means two temperatures are there, 350 Kelvin and 300 Kelvin. So therefore two temperatures, two susceptibilities. One susceptibility value is already given, the other susceptibility value is to be found. Therefore you will have two temperatures and two susceptibility values. Temperature, you know, is represented by the alphabet in absolute scale as capital T. Though you have temperature 1, temperature 2. Temperature 1 is 350 Kelvin, temperature 2 is 300 Kelvin. And again you have two susceptibility values. One susceptibility value is given. Susceptibility is represented by psi. Therefore psi 1 is susceptibility 1. Susceptibility at 350 K. That is psi 1 is 2.8 into 10 power minus 4. You have to calculate susceptibility at 300 K. That is psi 2 is to be computed. That means we need to find the relation between susceptibility and temperature. So let us see what is given. That is what we have noted down here. The number of atoms N is equal to 10 power 28 atoms per meter cube. Susceptibility at 350 Kelvin, psi 1 is given as 2.8 into 10 power minus 4. Temperature T1 is 350 Kelvin. Temperature T2 is 300 Kelvin. Now susceptibility at 300 Kelvin, that is psi 2 is to be computed. Now if you carefully observe this, there should be a relation between susceptibility and temperature. Using that only we can calculate the resultant requirement. So the relation that talks about connecting susceptibility and temperature, if you recollect, is nothing but Curie-Weiss law. Curie-Weiss law, which is relating susceptibility and temperature. In fact, according to that law, susceptibility is inversely proportional to the temperature, or temperature is inversely proportional to the susceptibility. So that value I am trying to use it. Susceptibility is inversely proportional to temperature. That means susceptibility into temperature equal to constant. That constant is what is named as Curie constant C. So therefore, from this you can get C as Curie constant, C equal to psi T, psi into T. So Curie constant means psi into T is constant. When you say psi into T is constant, that is Curie constant, then from that we can write as psi 1 T1 is equal to psi 2 T2. So that is the next. Because Curie constant C is constant, from this psi T is equal to constant means psi 1 T1 equal to psi 2 T2. Now you have psi 1 value, T1 value, T2 value. T2 is to become, psi 2 is to be computed. Just substitute here. Therefore, from this value, you need psi 2. Psi 2 will be psi 1 T1 by T2, cross multiplication. Now what is psi 1 given? 2.8 into 10 power minus 4. Psi 1 is 2.8 into 10 power minus 4 into T1. T1 is given as 350 divided by, you don't need to convert because it is already given an absolute scale. So there is no need of temperature conversion in this problem. If it is given in degree centigrade, you may have to convert. But you need not here. So it is 350 divided by T2 is what? 300 Kelvin. Understood? Now it's a simple coefficient, very simple manipulation thereafter. So keep 10 power minus 4 like that. This will be 2.8 into 350 by 300. So it comes to around 3.267 into 10 power minus 4. This is the answer for susceptibility of the given paramagnetic material at 300 Kelvin. Susceptibility being ratio, it will not have any unit at all. Now let us look at yet another problem solving process. Look at this problem. When a magnetic material is subjected to a magnetic field of intensity 250 ampere per meter, its relative permeability is 15. Calculate its magnetization and magnetic flux density. So when you look at the problem, what is given? Intensity of magnetic field 250 ampere per meter is nothing but intensity of magnetic field, that is H value. 250 ampere per meter is the H value. And also 15 is given. What is this 15? Relative permeability, that is mu r is given. What are we asked to calculate? We were asked to calculate magnetization, that is M value, and flux density, B value. So M value is to be calculated, B value is to be calculated. H value is given, mu r value is given. So there are two stages in this. Using H and mu r, we can calculate M. With M and H, we can calculate B. That's how we go about. So let us note down. So this is given. H is given as 250 ampere per meter. Relative permeability is given as 15. So using these two, we will calculate the magnetization value, M value. What is the M value? This is the formula. M is equal to H into mu r minus 1. That is mu H 250 into 15 minus 1. That is 250 into 14. So M value is found to be 3500 ampere per meter. That is the magnetization value. That is the first part of the question. What is the second part of the question? Flux density. Flux density depends on, flux density means B. B depends on M and H. M and H. M is calculated just now. H is given. But when you are calculating B with the help of M and H, another standard value also will come into picture. That is mu naught. That is permeability of free space. That is found to be 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 Henry per meter standard value. So because the formula says when we want to find flux density B, B will be as per the formula mu naught into H plus M. H is given, M we calculated. Only thing is we have to bring mu naught into picture to compute flux density B. So that is what we are calculating. So this is the value of B. B will be mu naught into H plus M, where mu naught is the permeability of free space, which is equal to 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. H value is already given 250. Just now we computed magnetization M value as 3500. So therefore, B value will be mu naught 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into 250 plus 3500. So this you can simplify as 4.71 into 10 power minus 3. This is flux density B, therefore its units are Weber per meter square or the Weber meter minus 2, either way. So this is how you can calculate the flux density. Both flux density as well as magnetization, both are computed as per the requirement given in the problem. Now we shall conclude this magnetic materials chapter by summarizing the theoretical concepts that are learned through in the previous video sessions by looking at possible questions from the university theory paper. These are all numericals, of course. Now if you see the new university magnetic materials paper or theory paper of engineering physics, and questions that are possible from magnetic materials are like short answer as well as long answer. Short answers may include defining what is magnetic susceptibility, what is magnetic permeability, obtain the relation between B, H and M, what is the relation between relative permeability and susceptibility, what is Bohr magneton, what is diamagnetic material, what is paramagnetic material, what is ferromagnetic material, what is an antiferromagnetic material, what is ferrimagnetic material, what is meant by hysteresis, what are soft magnetic materials, what are hard magnetic materials, what are the applications of soft magnetic materials, similarly what are the applications of hard magnetic materials. Like that short answer questions may look like. But if you look at an essay type question or a long answer type question, questions could be like describe the origin of magnetic moment in an atom, or describe the classification of magnetic materials, explain the hysteresis of ferromagnetic materials, explain soft and hard magnetic materials, or distinguish between them. Like that questions can be posed. So if you are thorough with all the video sessions of magnetic materials and also practice these numericals that are shown as an example, you can answer any question from magnetic material. Right? Kindly thoroughly follow this, and based on that you can attempt any question on this. Okay? All the best.